I've got I dance with dad moves. Have you noticed? I've got the skill of the average dad when it comes to dancing, which is right up there with highly embarrassing and don't ever do that again, as far as the kids' feedback goes.
Please, no cameras.
No
Please
cameras.
not.
Nobody's filming this anyway. So Thomas, how you doing?
Oh man, happy Thursday, Friday Eve. I got to tell you, this podcast is a little tough from others. So,
were you up late?
Well,
just
yes, I was.
1:30 in the morning. We were talking.
Okay, go on. I haven't been up that late since I was like 21. But anyway, so my boss flew into town, and it was great to see him. And I got some video of him actually flying in and landing from approach and all that. And then we had lunch, and I came.
When you say flying in, he was the one flying, right?
Correct.
Hands on the controls.
Yeah, flying his own plane in, come to literally flew from. Well, I'll just put it in perspective. It's a 5-hour drive between us. So he fueled up the plane and flew up here so we could eat lunch. And then,
that would be me. I'll fix that right now.
At least there's not an A.
Yeah.
Pickles could have done it.
Look, words are hard. He flew in for lunch, though. How was lunch?
Flew in for lunch. Lunch was good. We ate light at a little deli. But then I came home, and after saying goodbye, I got home when he would do his pre-flight check-in, his run-up, because the airport in our town he flew into is very close to our house. And when planes depart, now he's comfortable. When planes depart that airport, they make a quick left and a quick left to stay away from the Air Force Base traffic. Well, we're right under the flight path of these planes. So I was standing in my driveway, and I was watching his departure on flight radar 24, and off he went. And it was about 2 minutes later, right over the house. So that was great. But what makes it hard is once he was gone, and I look at my watch, I'm like, okay, podcast, a couple hours, got to get ready for it. I looked around, and it's like, it's a gorgeous day. It's a Chamber of Commerce day in our town in North Texas right now. It is a light breeze, 71. The birds.
No sign of last week's tornadoes, right?
Yeah, nothing of that. We're going to get that on Monday. The ducks showed up, and so I got them all fed out in the front yard, so they were happy. And so I just pulled out a lawn chair and sat in the driveway. My wife's at the ranch tending to horses, so it was just quiet. And I was like, oh man, I could sit out here for hours, or just go to bed because I've been up so late. One of the two, but here we are.
So you still have a job. That's the good news. You met with your boss. Things are on the up and up. It could be worse.
No, it was great because there was 2 other mutual friends. They are also private pilots, so there was a lot of aviation talk. So work was not brought up. So I got saved by the other guys having discussions. So
performance review is saved for next visit. So,
yes, correct.
That is cool. That is awesome. That weather's been. It's been a rough spring. Like, don't they say like in like a lion, out like a lamb or something? I don't remember what part's supposed to come in like a lion and what part's is it April or March that's supposed to flip? The beginning is opposite of the end.
Yeah, come again?
Chat, help me here. Have you heard the in like a lion, out like a lamb? It has something to do with spring, with and the weather. And so if it's a nice, calm, early spring start to spring, then like a month later, it's like, oh, by the way, here's some snow and a blizzard and lightning and tornadoes.
There's always like March. It is
March.
Yeah, it was people in chat are calling out to, it's March when it gets crazy. But you know what's wild? Depending on the part of the country you're in, severe weather happens all the time. Even if you're not thinking snow, blizzards, this and that. I mean, people, there's tornadoes in December and they freak out. No, it actually happens year round. There's just kind of a peak in the season, and that's springtime. So we're getting right into the heart of it. So not surprised to see what's been happening across the country. Like I said, everything's toning down a hair bit for the weekend. Our part of the country will then see it Monday. It'll shift east and northeast come Tuesday, which it's supposed to be fairly severe again. All hazards are possible. And then is it Colorado State University? I forget which one. Now I'm frozen. But they put out the It's not Colorado State. Oh man, I can't
The
believe.
hurricane watch people.
Yeah, they put out the hurricane forecast.
Yeah, and they rolled the dice and got like straight 20s on everything, right? They're way up there.
Yeah, this hurricane season they're predicting to be much heavier than the last. Again, their predictions and they're early, so who really knows? But yeah, severe weather. It's that time of year.
Maybe I could solicit your help and you could like dig into the records and see how like accuracy wise how they do in their predictions, because we always hear, hey, this year is going to be, Farmer's Almanac says XYZ is going to be the weather. How often are they right? Is that we just give them a pass?
Yeah, it's weather's so hard. So I love it, right? But I'm not good at it because I'm not a big data guy, and weather's data. That's what they do. So I just really enjoy it, but it's so much fun talking with friends about when they say, well, this is what I see coming and this is where it goes and this is how it is. And then when I'm saying, hey, there's a chance for weather here and this is what's going on. And then when it doesn't rain in our neighborhood, I'm getting texts from friends like, you are so wrong. And I'm like, no, that's not what I meant by rain. So Crazy Cat Queen says, Weather Watch, Thomas, pretty sure it's Florida State because they have no hair. Yep. So NOAA's nationwide and there's spots everywhere, but it's a university in Colorado that is notorious for putting out the hurricane prediction is what they do. It's out of Colorado.
Honestly, what do they know about it? I mean, have they ever had one? I mean, facts here. Let's spit the truth. They're like the most protected state. They're on the other side of the Rockies. Okay, they're so far inland on the east coast. Nothing's going to get to them. The Gulf is way south of them. I guess. Yeah, they just like to poke fun at everybody else who might get a hurricane with, because they never will. But they get hit with some pretty nasty storms as well.
They do. My brother-in-law sent me a cool video the other day of people skiing in Breckenridge, and they're waiting in the lift lines in a little snow NATO. It's like a dirt devil, but it was huge. It came ripping through the basin and just blasting people while they're waiting in line in the lifts. It was pretty wild. I'm trying to look up here. So CSU, Colorado State University, they released their forecast for 2024. They do it every single year, and they're pretty good. It's weather, so give them a break. But that's what they do every year. And a lot of people in weather wait for their forecast to come out to see what it is they're looking at. Again, it's down to data. They're crunching numbers. I don't do it. I can't do it. I'm just a hobbyist. It's in the disclaimer in my channel that I'm a hobbyist. So
for entertainment value only. Don't make decisions like life and death decisions based on the forecast, but do prepare. I mean, it never hurts to prepare. And then when it doesn't happen, I mean, at least you're safe. If it does, then you could be safe anyway. Well, awesome. Friday Eve is finally here. The weekend, one more day, and I'm super excited. I mean, this has been a long week because for some reason on Friday, I sound weird. Do I sound weird to you?
Not to me.
That's test 1, 2. Okay. You say that's normal. That's just your normal self.
No.
There we go. I've got
everything's on par on this end.
For some reason on Wednesday, I was thinking it was the weekend, and I'm not sure if it's one of my kids said something, but it was just like I was in that mode. I'm like, yeah, what am I going to do this weekend? It's coming up, and then I realized I never really thought, oh, today is Friday. But I just had that feel that we were getting close, and then I realized we're only halfway. And man, it's a bummer. It's a bummer as soon as you realize that. But now we are halfway from the halfway point to the weekend, which is we're making progress. We're getting there.
Indeed.
And it's been a fun week. We kicked off. I mean, speaking of weather, the eclipse.
Yes.
Which was just really cool. It was a bigger deal for more people than I thought it would be. It
blew up. I mean, people were.
It went viral.
It did in many ways. Absolutely, it did. I think it was really cool. So we were not in complete totality. We were 95% for 3 minutes and change is what we had, which for me, that it's good enough. It's pretty cool. I know there was a big forecast based off satellite models of cloud coverage everywhere. We were supposed to be in it. We weren't. Bluebird skies. So we got to witness the whole event take place. So it was really, really neat for us.
Your friends didn't thank you for that forecast, did they?
I didn't mention any of it at all to anyone because I think someone even in your chat last week was like, hey, you going to talk about the forecast over the weekend for the eclipse? And I was looking at it going, Not
Nope.
even going there on that one. No chance. Because there's people spending tons of money to travel
Let
and
me
go
give you a
see
link
things.
to Ryan Hall, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm not going to step in there.
Seek out a professional, not me, for something like that. But so it worked out for us. We got to see it and experience, which was awesome. Did you guys get to see it and everything was
We
good?
did. We were in 75% totality, which means it's just bright enough that yes, it still hurts when you look at the sun.
Yeah.
No, we Mrs. RA went out on the deck, and I ran out. We were live streaming during it, so I ran out for a couple minutes, and while it was going on, and we did the whole colander. I've got some pictures of my kids holding up the colander like it's a hat and catching the little reflections, all the little eclipses on the ground. So it was fun. Got to see it. We've seen it about that much before. We've been in another area on the last a couple ago.
Yep.
That was about 75% for us as well, and so it was pretty neat. But
That's cool.
yeah,
That
I'm
last
jealous.
one.
I'm jealous of the totality people, because they're writing novels on social media. I mean, there's like, this was a life-changing experience. I mean, I can't put into words what happened in 4 minutes on Monday. And I'm like, what do you mean? The sun, it got a little darker, and they're like, no, unless you had been there, you won't, I cannot tell you, you have to experience it for yourself. I'm like, now the FOMO is real. Now I missed out on this.
Right. That's cool. So there's another one that not everyone knows about, but in this same year, I believe in August, but it's not hitting the United States. Places like Argentina and whatnot are going to get to see it. Now, I don't know as far as if there's full totality or anything like that involved, that I don't recall, but I know they're going to have a great opportunity to see it. And so I saw an article that was really cool. It popped up on my feed, and it's
Adam Nuski sending me totality pictures.
Rubbing it in.
Yes. On the
He took some great pictures.
They're beautiful.
Yes, he got some great ones.
Adam, I'm going to time you out, man.
He's the internet winner. We can't do it.
Oh, I know. He's in charge of the internet. But.
Yeah. So, well, I'll back up before I get into the article. As soon as Eclipse is over, I open Facebook, and my neighbor, he's a great friend of ours, and he's hilarious. Here's a post, and it says, it's a picture of the little paper Eclipse glasses, like sitting on the kitchen counter. Just a picture of that. And it just says, $10 barely used.
Oh, poor kid.
Yeah. So
not gonna sell.
Bunch of comments there. I think I commented on it. I said, well, I just got an alert from Amazon. It says out for delivery and should be here by 5 p.m. So I'm all set. It's already over.
I heard that story for real. Yeah. Someone in chat said their dad had ordered some, and they were arriving later in the afternoon.
I think that might have been Melissa P or something. Maybe I saw that. But go ahead.
Let me say one more thing. Well, we were out watching that. My kids are out, looking at the colander on the ground, and some awesome neighbors were like driving around and like looking at all the groups that were out trying to do what my kids were doing without the right equipment. And they had spare glasses, like, here, quick, take a view. We're going to drive around, let everyone. So they got to see it, even though we didn't prepare and buy the $10 glasses or whatever they were. So that was pretty neat. We've got some cool neighbors. So
we pre-ordered, my wife, bless her, she's awesome, because I would have forgot, like 3 months ago when she first saw the headline of the eclipse coming, she went ahead and hit the Amazon order.
People do not get to have it their way.
I'm sorry, I turned the commands on.
So we have some really nice Eclipse glasses that we got, and of course we used them for 30-ish minutes, right? Watching a little before and then during and then at the end. So I came across an article shortly after my neighbor's funny post. It says what to do with your Eclipse glasses. Most people just throw them in a junk drawer and just whatever, or they just trash them. Well, this organization, and I forget the name of it. I wish I have an article and I can click it. What do you know? Save links every once in a while. And I didn't even populate it, but they're doing something that's completely awesome, because that eclipse that I was talking about, that those like out in Argentina and whatnot get to see come August. Let me see. This is based out of Springfield, but anyways, you can take all your glasses and donate them to this company. They will collect them all. They'll inspect them. They'll throw away the ones that are bad, and the ones that are good, they'll put it together, and they ship them overseas to those that have the opportunity to see that next eclipse, but can't afford it. So it goes, to lower privileged areas, and it's especially designed to go to the youth, so
Mm.
kids can experience it and learn the science behind it and what it's about, because those resources aren't always so available for them in certain areas in town. So I thought it was really cool. So we saved ours. We've got them bagged up. I believe the company that is spearheading this is based in Utah. So it says the next solar eclipse will be annual solar eclipse. Oh, this says now it
Yeah,
says
Provo,
October.
Utah, home of BYU.
In Provo. That's right. I think I said Ogden to you earlier.
Eclipse
But you're right.
Glasses USA.
Yeah.
Provo has a great fishing stream.
So you can
Brown trout. I've been many times fly fishing.
so you just fly there, fish, and drop off your glasses.
Drop off my
And
glasses
yeah.
for a good cause, and maybe I could do the whole thing as a tax write-off, because of the glasses and everything.
Yes. But so I thought it was a cool concept. I never thought that would be a thing, right? They're the paper ones or the plastic one. They're so cheap. It's easy to trash, get rid of, throw away. But I never would have crossed my mind that, oh, wait, hey, you can get them out to people that need
You
them.
could put them in your junk drawer for another, 40 years until it happens again, whatever the time frame is.
I think 20 more years. I think 2044 is our next one, but I don't think it's full totality. I think that's just, I'm not even going to pretend to know, because
They don't expire, do they? I mean, it's like, does the tint wear off, or the sun doesn't change over time? I imagine not fast enough to need a different prescription of glasses.
After 10 years, please include a Pop-Tart wrapper in front of glasses. For
Add
usage.
one Pop-Tart wrapper per decade.
Yeah.
It's funny because looking back at everything that happened during the eclipse, there are some funny stats that come out of all this as all the people are crunching data. And one of the humorous ones that I saw is actually from iTunes. I was going to say it was Spotify, but it's iTunes.
Okay.
Like, well, iTunes Eclipse. Yeah. Well, they track what songs are downloaded. And on Monday,
Right.
Total Eclipse of the Heart became the second most downloaded song on iTunes. It's like, what other song talks about totality of eclipses? I mean, rack your brain. There might be one, but I just don't know it. And so everyone, like, I imagine that was playing like from sea to shining sea as the eclipse was going on. It's a total eclipse of the heart. But yeah, so I guess Bonnie Tyler, 1983. One hit wonder, and then once again it rises to prominence here in 2024.
So we were talking about it briefly pre-show. We're thinking an artist or us, we need to get together and write a couple songs about natural phenomenon, right? Volcanoes, shuttle launching, moon landings, some tornado songs, and then see what just gets picked up.
I was thinking we could probably utilize chat to come up with a couple, catchy names for natural disaster type songs. Like I'm not sure if we could. Those tidal wave things that happen, the tsunamis, that might be a little much. Like a tsunami, I don't know what this song would be. It's like a screamo song, but if you guys have something catchy involving like volcano, earthquake, tornado, there's we'd be willing to split some of the revenue, a very small percentage with you as we write our song and make it big, if you name it for us. So
we'll do it. And no using AI. Write it from the heart.
Yeah. It has to have it hit all the feels, and AI just doesn't do that. So,
no, doesn't do it. That's
I'm thinking a good love earthquake song. No, never mind. Let's do volcanoes are out as well. Never mind. We're gonna skip all these.
There's a nader over there. No.
That one has a banjo.
Roy's in chat. Tales from Principal Office. Hey, Roy. He says, bridge over troubled water too soon.
From Baltimore. Oh my goodness. Maybe wait another week on that one, Roy.
Roy is in the game.
Yeah. Wow.
Mrs. Rice says, rock me like a hurricane.
She comes in with what's on her playlist. I mean,
ooh, Darius Rucker, rock me like a wagon wheel, but substitute wagon wheel with hurricane and see how that little mix comes out.
I'm not familiar with the wagon wheel one.
Oh,
I'm familiar with the one Mrs. R.A. is talking about, the rock. Here I am, rock me like a hurricane.
So flip one. Rock me like a wagon, but I don't. We could go on, and this could get bad. I feel like the earth
shaking under my feet.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one. The songs are already there. They say that song is already written.
Yeah.
All the good ones are written. We have to just come up with a remix, maybe.
Just pop the balloon, red pen. All right. Oh, we were excited about it. Yeah. See here, Amber's got she's got the lyrics. Rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock
What
me.
genre of music is this? Is this something a little older or?
That's Darius Rutger. So he removed himself from Hootie and the Blowfish and became a country singer. You've heard him. You've had to. He's great.
I know the name Hootie and the Blowfish, and if I hear a song, I'd be like, hey, I know that song, but in my head, I can't connect the two right now.
Okay, so yeah, he removed himself from Hootie and the Blowfish, and then he came into to country, and he's got some good stuff out there. He does a little parody with Brad Paisley. It's really fun. They're sitting in their trucks and their barns, and Darius Rutger's sitting out on his patio in his $1 million ranch house, and they're on FaceTime on iPads while they're playing their guitars, and they switch. It's a cool little video. It's really neat. Yeah. But anyways,
I know who Darius Rucker is. I probably do. I've probably watched his YouTubes, but I'm bad with names, as you guys know. I couldn't get mine right at the beginning of this show. I mean, what more do you need to see?
And Fanny Pack comes in and they just keep proving it. Our whole idea,
Brooks,
everyone's our idea. Everything's actually been written. It's just a matter of who picks it up and runs with it, and then it goes viral again. How many years later? So,
here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Wasn't that I thought the Beatles or somebody sang that originally?
Hey, Mrs. Robinson. I don't know the rest of it.
That's like an old song. I thought it was remade by Hootie. I don't know. Riders on the Storm. That's a good one.
That is a good one. 12 says,
I guess all right. Our idea for like $1 million business has already been thoroughly explored by people with much more talent than ourselves. I might add.
Yeah. So we are yet to come up with a good idea to date. Season 2, episode 15. So.
One of these days something's gonna pop up and it's gonna work. It'll be our ticket to stardom.
We're just not going to get that lucky. So speaking of ticket and lucky, I don't know why it's become a thing, but we're doing it. I just see them and I got to put them on there. These stinking lottery winners that just hit it.
And the first story ties in with the fact that I probably should be on a diet.
Well, is your future sponsor listening?
No.
They don't watch the podcast.
No.
Wait,
the Nebraska story. At the very beginning. Why did he stop to buy a lottery ticket?
He didn't. He stopped to get a salad.
A salad, which is
for
diet
lunch.
food, right?
True. Yeah.
So if I had just had a diet, a diet instead of the 4 Mountain Dews that I had earlier today, if I had stopped at Chick-fil-A and got the chef salad with no sauce or whatever it is that's supposed to be healthy for you, maybe I could have his luck. But tell us about Nebraska real quick.
So a guy named Brian in Nebraska, he stops at a little quick stop. It's like a gas station that has a little frozen section in it type area, refrigerated section with some food. So he stops in to get a salad for tomorrow's lunch for work, and he doesn't gamble. He's like, what the heck? I'll get me a little lottery ticket here. Wins $1 million. I
can tell you, he's not having salad for long. That diet's out the window. He got $1 million. He's having a filet mignon for lunch for the next week.
No, and I love the guy too. His comment was, what do you say? So he's a single dad, and he says, I will not keep playing the lottery because as a single dad, baloney is much more important to me financially than continuing to play lottery or anything else. So single dad wins $1 million, says I'm not going to keep playing. Which is good for him. That's awesome. Went to get a salad, got $1 million. And then to back that up, this one is in Maryland. A man goes and buys a Powerball ticket, but he accidentally buys 2 tickets. Or no, he buys 2 tickets, but he accidentally buys 2 tickets with the same numbers. And he wins $1 million each on his duplicate ticket.
It's like, well, tonight we have 2 winners and they both are the same guy.
It's you and you. And The way it worked with the multiplier or something, it switched. So that's why he won $1 million on this one and $1 million on this one, and didn't have to split $1 million or whatever it was. But he just, and it was a big accident. It was a fluke. He didn't realize it. And so $2 million, here you go on an accidental ticket. But that's all the lottery I got for you. And no, I have not played or bought scratch offs since the last time.
Thomas, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. We're here. This is like an intervention. We're here for you. So
I'm not big on gambling.
One day at a time.
And I don't promote it. But I will say it is Masters weekend for golf. And I do have some squares going. If anyone wants to buy in, I've got it. No, I'm kidding. I don't. But
oh man. Moral of the story is eat healthy. It's worth its weight in gold, says Mrs. R.A.
Amen. But
people are still talking about songs. Let Her Cry. It's a good song. Was that Hootie? Is that the same guy? The Hootie and the Blowfish guy? Let Her Cry? Or is that somebody else? Because that's a country song.
that one, man, I wish as YouTube, you get like 20 minutes a month of copyright freeness. So in a segment like this, you could fire up like 20 seconds of all these songs and just get the vibe going, and people would be loving it and dancing. I mean, it would be so rad if they could do something like that.
I'd be like full DJ mixing the ones and twos.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, you're the sound magician too, so it'd be awesome. Amber confirms. Yep, that's Hootie.
I know who Hootie is because I know that song.
Okay, there you go. So I think it was Future that said, Scott, you know who Hootie is, right? So it's been said. So yeah, Darius Rucker came from Hootie. So give him a look. He sticks straight country-ish vibe, more or less, but it's good stuff. I like him. It's not for everyone, but I like him.
Yeah. So we've got the good luck stories. I'll tell you, we probably need to have a pet story. So I was going to share something about my cat really quickly. My cat, we think we found the other home where it lives at. It's like 5 doors. It's like 5 doors down the road.
Oh,
okay. And he's been not too fond of us lately. So, but he showed up the other day, and when he's hungry, he turns vicious. It's like, first of all, okay, 2 stories. Okay, he showed up the other day, and he was like scared to death, right? Because there was some other cat had terrorized it. So he's on the deck, and he's like jumping at everything that moves. And I'm like, oh, poor thing. I need to put him in the back where his cat house is, so we can just hide him there on the deck. I'm like, but he's not going to run around the house because this other cat will find him and just tear him apart. And so I think in my head, if I hold him, I can just carry him through the house, right? Through the house, which he's not allowed. And I've trained him. I can like drag a little piece of lunch meat right up to the door, and he'll stop and won't come in, right? Because he knows don't come in the house. Right. So I'm like, I'll hold him so he knows, I'm not going to let him come in, but I'll carry him through the house to the back door, and let him go. And Mrs. R.A. is hearing this for the first time, and
so he's about to be a hostage.
I make it 2 steps inside the front door with cat in arm, and he goes full alligator death roll on me, and just like, and it's like down and out, and I'm like scrambling, and he's like, "What's this? What's all carpet?" And it's just that cat. It thinks it lives inside now, and everything I have trained it for weeks and months up to this point was lost in that one moment where it's like, oh, there isn't a force field. I can come in. So anyway, so now I have to retrain the cat, but he went away for a while because we've been very strict. We don't let him back in. And he went away because he was like pouting or something. And he came back today, and he's like, meow, like that. That's nobody clipped that, but that was what exactly. I mean, that's not fake. That's exactly what he sounds like when he's hungry.
I get it.
Now, it's just like, it's harsh. It's not something cute. You're like, oh, a kitty. It's just like it's halfway between a threat and a warning. And he's like ready to pounce. Like the claws are like out already.
Yes.
I don't know where I'm going with this story, but I fed the cat because I was scared for my life. Clipped, says Amber.
Where's the cat?
I should be safe. The podcast is my safe zone, Amber.
It's supposed to be, but when you belt out really loud meows, it's kind of
I don't know how else to do it unless you actually hear what it sounded like. And that was perfect. If I had recorded it, it wouldn't have sounded any different than that. Yeah. Nobody clipped that. Yes. No. Thank you, Cashat. Appreciate you laying down the law. Yeah,
No,
is that
no.
a question.
Yeah, question mark. She's like, that's her being, are you serious? That's not what happens here.
It's gonna be all over Facebook.
Okay, here was my next question and answer,
Yeah.
Mrs. Ray. And the cat is sleeping right in front of the door, waiting to come in.
Oh,
well,
not
why
just
doesn't
that.
she just pick up the cat and walk Pickles through the house to the backyard?
Yeah, try it. Try it, Mrs. Ari. Mrs. Ari has never picked up the cat. I don't think Mrs. Ari has ever pet the cat.
Really?
We have a tenuous relationship between Mrs. Ari and the cat.
Oh, okay.
And it's one of toleration as long as there's no connection, no closeness.
Understood. Okay.
So she's allergic. She can't.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, but anyway, pets. I was talking about pets. I don't know why. Do you have any better pet stories than the two I just told? And if so, do they have sound effects?
If they do, they won't come out of me because there's a lot of clip happy moderators in the chat at the moment. But so no, there is. Well, I've actually got two. One's personal. So my dog has been down for the count for about 2 weeks. It started with a bad hip that we were nursing. Thought it was getting better, and then all of a sudden he just tripped getting into his dog bed, which is just over there on the carpet. Little race. He tripped, gave out a big yelp, and kind of fell on his face. And I went, "Oh my gosh, now he's really hurt." So take him in. They examined his back leg. He had hurt his knee, but it's already on the mend. So they take a look at that, and all the meds and everything are prescribed. Everything's great. So for 2 days, his back leg was already on the mend, looking better based off the medicine. And then day 3, he trips and falls again and gives out a yelp, and he's standing there holding up his leg, and he's just petrified. He's panting, he's frozen, he's stuck, he can't move. It was frightening. So I take him to the vet the next morning because he's hurt his front leg on something now. They go in. He stayed at the vet for 7 hours. He walked, he ran, he jumped, he played the whole time.
At the vet?
Yes. It's like your car makes a terrible sound, so you take it to the mechanic, and the mechanic's like, it sounds normal. I don't know what you're talking about. He pulled that move on me. They're like, we couldn't find anything. We did x-rays, we did this and that. So we went ahead, we've done blood work, we bring this in. So get the call, the blood work, typical dog style, thyroid's a little low. Let's get him on some medicine there, but everything else is perfect. He's fine in all other regards. I don't understand what's going on. Well, he keeps doing these weird episodes of like locking up and freezing in his arm. Well, now as we watch him, it looks neurological because of the way he's behaving.
Like a seizure.
Yeah. So we get him on some other medicine. This is all within a 2-week period, right? We've had 5 trips to the vet and different medicines and things. So we get him in there, and the doctor, this is on the most latest one. She's looking at him, and she's doing this stuff with his head and his eyes, and she's checking him out, doing all his reflexes and seeing if he'll do some knuckling. Like they'll pull him back and see if they just sit there and drag it or if they'll respond. But he's reacting great to all that. So then she grabs his muzzle and does this testing, and he's got full flexion up and then down, but he's a little tight side to side. So then she does this and gives a push, and then he's done. She found
sound effects.
Oh, they're not really. I backed away from the microphone. I backed away so it wouldn't be clip worthy. So she found a really good spot. So they did an x-ray on the neck only. There was nothing wrong with the vertebra, but they said, well, it's going to be something muscular within. So they gave him a steroid injection in there, and they did a laser treatment. And I went to pick him up. This was Monday afternoon. It's good as gold. Brand new dog. He was, wow. We got him back. It was awesome. So he's on his medication. He's doing great. Last night, he did something in the backyard. He tweaked it again. So he's not the 100% he was, but it's nowhere near how bad it was 5 days ago. But he has another laser treatment in the morning, and hopefully that'll kind of work that back out. So he's napping right down by my feet right now, just hanging out. He's tired. But I'm so happy because we thought it was brain stuff. So we're getting ready for CT scans and all this, and it's something there. But so I'm really happy because he's been my pal for the last 11 years. he's been all over the country with me. I mean, he rides in my car. He sleeps next to me in bed. He works with me all day long while you're live streaming and we're modding. He's right here the whole time. So special doggo, but
Unlike
he's
the
on the mend.
cats. The cats are right here all the time.
Yeah. Totally. But another dog story, which is wild because you hear about missing dogs, you know, it happens so much. It's so sad. And people post it on the Nextdoor app, on Facebook and whatever social medias they can and try to track them down. But it's, you know, it's sad. It comes to a certain point where a dog's been gone for so long and it's like, oh, what do we do for now? But a family in California, their dog went missing last summer. And it was just the beginning of this month. They found their dog from last summer, their little terrier. So from San Diego, their dog is found. I think it was Minnesota. It's Minnesota or Michigan. Let me double check. Michigan.
Oh no.
Found in Michigan, over 2,000 miles away. They found their dog.
That's like a cross-country trip.
Yeah. So Mrs. Mr. Apertos, I like how we've renamed Mrs. Mr. Apertos, someone that's not her name. We just call it. Yeah.
We know who this is. Yeah.
Yeah. So Heather's heard of it too. So they assumed basically what had happened, they believe, is the dog was lost. It got picked up, and then whoever picked it up eventually ended up selling it, and it's made its way there. But through contacts of a little dog rescue center and this and that, here pops up this dog in Michigan, and they check the chip in the dog, and then bam,
Like,
find out it's registered there.
Got your pet.
Yeah. So
Pet to the
2,000
country.
miles away, many, many months later, you get your dog. I mean, talk about having some hope for people now that have lost pets.
Yeah.
Like, holy cow.
That's cool. The closest thing I have to that wasn't a pet. When geocaching first came out, you know what geocaching is? It's where you hide garbage in weird places
Little
and people
things.
try to find it. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's not garbage, but
It is for most, but you leave breadcrumbs and then people.
I went all out because I hid a geocache that's one of the oldest geocaches in the state where I hid it, because it was the first year it came out. A couple months after geocaching was a thing, I bought a huge army ammo can. I've got the official waterproof logbook and the pen that can write upside down in space or whatever else, and the big sticker on the side. This is an official geocache game piece, you know, everything. Yes. And I hid it up in a very, very dangerous, like difficulty 5 out of 5, in a little mine, an old mine entrance, hidden inside a rock slide up a canyon on a steep cliff. Okay. It's like, don't go here unless you plan on dying. But I hid something up there, and I put what's called a travel bug in it, which is a little, it's like a dog tag with a barcode or a little code you can enter. And the idea is yes, if you open up a geocache and it has a travel bug, you're supposed to take it with you. Normally you put something in, you take something out of equal value, and you sort of exchange little gifts and little tokens and mementos. But I put this travel bug in there, and the travel bug is, you're not supposed to keep it. You're supposed to, on your next geocache, you're supposed to drop it off and let it travel around. And then me as the owner, I can log in and see where it's gone. It's gone on the journey. Right. And I have one that went all the way to Europe before somebody stole it. And all it was a little hacky sack with a little ball chain in it with a tag, like a dog tag chain. It was a hacky sack with that. It's like, why do you steal? Just pass it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so unfortunately, I don't think it's coming back. I mean, it's gone more than 2,000 miles, but I'm not going to see that little hacky sack again. I called it Super SEPA, because I think it was a SEPA is like a hacky sack. I think there's another name for them, but at least I don't know. I'm not good with words. That's what I've been calling them.
Might be in Michigan.
Maybe. Too soon. Oh man.
Yes, Red Pen. I've seen these. I like it too. Where's the George dollar bills? And there's a website. There's usually, if I recall, don't they put a number on it? But you go online the website and you look, and people that actually follow it, like a Red Pen, would register. I had this dollar bill at this location at this time.
You could just register the serial number.
That's what it is. It's just the serial number.
It's got the Where's George stamp, and then you do the serial number, which is
unique. It's really cool because you see all the disgusting places that it's been in the last 5 years, and then you get rid of it really quick, like all cash money. It's gross, but it is pretty cool. I haven't seen one of those in a long time, actually, now that's brought up. But
I wonder if they still sell the stamps, or is the game being played anymore?
There's diehards out there, that are that are watching it, collecting it, following it.
I haven't seen paper money in a while, says Heather.
Yeah, that's so true.
Or any kind of money, for that matter, Heather. Yeah,
No.
I hear you. Um,
I will say I had a colleague years ago who said most people do this. They collect their coins in one way or another, right? They either take them home, put them in a drawer or a bottle, or their car. They've got a little satchel they keep them in, and then you change them in at some point in time. And he said, I remember we got in his Jeep to go to a concert, and we're on our way, and he's like, "Hey, we open the glove box, and I got some cash in there because there's a cover charge I forgot about, and I didn't get cash." So I pulled out, and there's this wad of ones like this big. And I'm looking, I'm like, Jeff, do I want to know? I don't
do
want to
you
know.
have a side gig that
Yeah,
you don't want to tell me about?
it was this big. It was like a belt-fed mag for like a machine gun. I'm like, dude. And he goes, yeah, you know how like everyone keeps their coins and their change in a bag or whatever. I do that with ones. Anytime I get a $1 bill, it goes right in there. And I tell myself a full year of just keeping those ones over there.
Where does he live, and what kind of car does he have?
And so, yeah, anymore now, I don't know. So I did it. I went, oh my gosh, I'm gonna do that. So I did it for a year, and holy cow, I mean, you can make more money by investing like $20 into something else than that, but it's money you don't account for, you don't think about, you don't realize, and then when you pull it out, and it was really cool because when I saw what it was, and my daughter actually was like, "Where did you get all those ones?" And I just suck her on some chores. Said, "Well, if you want a piece of this, go do that, go do this, go to." And so she started collecting all the ones. But it was pretty neat. I hadn't thought about that, and it added up so quick.
Yeah. Now that people aren't using cash, I mean, it's so easy. I mean, I can't tell you the number of times I've gone to Lowe's, like, oh, left my wallet at home. I'll just pay with my phone. Click, and it what's money, says Debbie.
That's the most accurate one. Yeah, I don't know anymore either.
There are now apps though that when you make a purchase, they let you sort of round up the change and make a donation into a investment or a savings. Because so many people are like, I don't do coins, I don't do cash. It's all beep. Email me the receipt. I don't even want to touch that.
Yes. I got to look. Not sponsored. Oh, Acorns. That's one.
Acorns,
You
yes.
can do a roundup or an investment or donation or whatever it might be. But I did that one for a while. I didn't get into it heavy enough to really make anything. And I even watched a YouTube tutorial and went, oh, wow, that's really useful. I'm still too lazy to do it. So I
have to click the button and download the app. And that's just not worth it.
But it's really cool because if you carry a balance on, that's not the only one. There's several. You carry a balance in some of those apps, and you can make purchases through those apps to others. You get rewards back. So there's ways to really financially make gains, but it takes discipline to do it that way versus just swiping the card.
I teased this a little bit earlier today. We have some family friends, or some friends. They're not family, but they're friends of ours that go on vacation like a month out of the year, and it costs them nothing. And we're like,
really?
How does that work? Well, first of all, he has work that lets him take a month off, so that helps. But he plays the credit card game with all the little deals and special offers. And there's a term for it. I can't, maybe Mrs. Ori can put it in chat, but there's a term for it where you bounce these cards and the offers, and it takes like a gigantic spreadsheet and like perfect timing. Okay. And you're signing up for one, you're getting the bonus, you're flipping that, you're transferring to tokens and miles and everything, and paying off one with the other, and they play this game, and they could just get miles and miles. Like, we can fly anywhere we want every year. We can take the whole family anywhere just on these free rewards. Fraud. It's called fraud. Okay, that's the game. They play fraud. But no, they legitimately, he trained me, and I said, no, too dumb. He did. When they came here, they said, you guys could do this. It's easy. And then they explained how it happens. It's like, just every month I take the bill here, and I put this on my calendar, and then I do this. There's a lot of paperwork on the front end. Right. But the back end is literally, they've driven across the country. They're like, hey, let's go to Nashville today. Let's go to DC next, and they've got a month to just tour around the country. And it's costing them nothing, because of all their miles and their saved rewards and everything else. I mean, they pay a little bit for food and that, but really free travel. It's crazy.
So for a trip for thousands, they're paying a couple $100 type scenario.
Like
to do all
less than living at home is
that's
basically what they're
that's
doing.
so cool. See, I'm with just about the majority. I'm too lazy to actually do that. And what's sad is I have the time and the resources right here in front of me in the studio to
All it
track
takes
all
is a
that.
computer and a keyboard and a little bit of
Yeah. But like I
effort.
said earlier, the reason I'm not good with weather is I'm not a data guy. I'm not gonna if I'm not doing it for something I really, really enjoy, man, I can't do it. But there's so many rewards out there that you really can take advantage of. And on top of it, to boot, there's a million YouTube videos to train you how to do it
For free.
for free.
YouTube University is the smartest place you can ever go. They don't give out degrees, but the information there is better than any college you can ever sign up for. I tell you, I do this with some of those little apps like Robinhood, which is like like a trading. It's an investment platform. It takes the sign up is the same as if you sign up for a bank account. So they're literally asking for your social security number. That's a federal law. You have to give them all this information. But if you're okay doing that, they have built in the app. They have things where they say, if you'll just click on this screen and click through like 7 pages and then guess the right answer out of three guesses, and we'll let you choose as many times as it takes, we'll give you $5 in this coin, and you can immediately sell the coin and transfer it to US dollars, sell the coin, transfer it to US dollars. And so I get like, 50, $60 every couple months from this little app by just reading this stuff, and I get to play with it on the stock market.
What's that called again?
It's called Robinhood, but it's a terrible app as far as actually investing. If you're like want to invest in the stock market, not what you want to do. But if you just want to play with it, it gives you free money. It's a tiny bit of free money. Plus, when you first sign up, if you use a referral code, not a sponsor, then like the person who refers you and the person who starts an account both get a chance to win like up to 1 share of Microsoft, which is a couple $100. I got 1 share of Microsoft when my mom signed up under my referral, and I promptly lost all the money that it was worth.
Yeah, naturally. Yeah.
So don't follow any of my trading advice. But there are little ways out there that you can slowly start earning a little bit of money or playing with money to see if you can invest and make it big.
So that kind of reminds me of something I've heard. A lot of YouTubers, so those obviously that like YouTube, that would be you, myself, and everyone that's here in chat. Know there's a lot of similar sponsors across the board for a lot of channels, right? One of which that I recall seeing, and I don't know if you've ever seen it, it's called Honey. It's a browser plugin. So anytime you're online shopping, it's immediately searching for online codes for you, and it applies it at checkout, no matter what store you're shopping at. It doesn't matter what it is. And I've seen that one advertised by a lot of YouTubers. I've never used
big ones like Mr. Beast.
Yes.
Big.
So I'm curious if anyone in chat has heard. So Tisha says yes. So not only have you heard of it, has anyone in chat used it and seen them save money and it actually worked? Because it's one of those, to me, what's the catch? Why? It sounds like a no-brainer. It's a plugin. You just install it and you don't have to think again about it. But I've never installed it. Again,
I've never installed it. It's too much work. It's too much work to actually click the download button. I have done the camel with Amazon, which is a website that will tell you historically looking back on Amazon. So you go to any Amazon page, you're like, I'm looking for this product. It's a automatic cat scratcher or whatever it is, whatever you're interested in. And you just save the URL, like the amazon.com/ you copy that whole thing. And you go to camel.com and you paste it in, and it will tell you historically the price of that over as long as it's been for sale. So for the past 15 years, here's the pricing trend, and it changes sometimes daily. Like one day it's $15, the next day it's 20, and then it goes down to 12. And you can see if there are trends, seasonal stuff. I love that Watch is taking notes.
I'm writing them all down. as I
give free
being
scratch
too
tickets.
lazy.
No, just kidding. Sorry. Too soon. There. Well, guys, it's been a lot of fun. Thomas, come back. There we go.
Oh.
There's some fun stuff out there. We might have to do. There's Pamela the camel showing the camel.
I've got a golf mate who is really, really good at what he does, and is with Edward Jones. Maybe we need to do a financial advice segment with him on the podcast.
And maybe they could sponsor us
because it's so exhilarating. this
They give us
episode,
401ks or something. I don't know. What do they give you?
as we talk about scratch offs and everything else.
This is my level of investment. It's like, what could I win?
He's gonna be like, I'm out of here. I can't do this.
Yeah, they're like, we are not a good fit, unfortunately, for your channel. No, I don't know. Luck comes into my investing quite heavily, which it probably shouldn't. But there was a story we were talking about that's on the list that I wanted to talk about that it features bad luck a little bit. There's a lady. Her name was Jenna Howell. We're gonna out her right now. Jenna Howell, San Diego. Anybody know Jenna Howell in San Diego? Okay, it's her. Okay, that's who it was. This is who did this. You've all been there. You've had that crazy dream, right? In her dream, she's like, I'm in a spy movie.
Okay.
I'm, running from the bad guys. They're about to catch me. And I'm, on my walkie-talkie or whatever, talking to my fiance. And he's like, well, swallow the ring. Don't let him have the ring. So she takes off her ring and swallows it. And it's a little weird. Okay. It only happens in a dream.
Right.
Wakes up, it's like, oh, good. That's just a dream. Only it wasn't. She ate it.
She swallowed her ring in her sleep.
The ring. It was quite a realistic dream, and she, so the bad guys wouldn't, catch her and steal the ring. She put it in a safe place where they'd never look, and it turns out they had to look where the sun don't shine to find it, because it had to make the whole trip. I don't know. Do you get a new ring at that point, or you just send it to the cleaners and like, don't ask? Just,
New ring. At least, okay, go ahead and remove the diamond and get it all cleaned up and polished by a professional and put it on a new band at the very least. But yeah, no, I'm not just
So I've never had any of my kids eat jewelry, but we have had kids that swallow coins, and it's scary as a parent because a coin, especially for a kid, the size is just. We're fortunate that it went down, but once a kid swallows a coin, there's new relationship. Once a kid swallows a coin, it's not a problem unless it gets stuck, right? That's terrible. Well, the doctors will tell you, oh, it's no problem, just keep checking. I'm like, well, what do you mean by checking? And they'll tell you exactly what they mean by checking. And if you thought picking up after your dog was bad, sorting through your child's deposit is worse, right? That's what they mean by checking. I'm like, no. There's an easier way, because I'm a metal detectorist. And I know I can find coins without doing any of the digging work. And so I literally, when my kid swallowed a coin, instead of going to the doctor and panicking and getting an x-ray and have them try to determine based on math and measurements, what kind of coin it was, I literally could pass my metal detector on their stomach and see exactly how much change they had eaten, because I can tell what the coin is just from scanning it. It's like, oh, it looks like a dime and a nickel. And then we just, every day you just scan him. It's like, oh, we're down to just the dime. It's like, done. I don't want the money back. I don't care, but it saves me, all that side of it. But still, it's yucky. Don't let your kids eat meat.
Throwing money down the toilet, and now you've got plumbing issues. It's all clogged with
Are they
precious
related?
metals.
Maybe.
Oh, that's wild. I don't think so. That just now it's a whole new rabbit hole. I'm trying to think of the weirdest thing that I'd ever swallowed that was not meant to be swallowed, and I don't think as a kid I ever went that route.
I did bug.
The only thing I remember is at one point in time during my hockey days, one league, if I remember, they didn't allow clear mouthpieces because if a kid swallowed one, they wanted to ensure it showed up in the X-ray. But when I look back at that, I'm looking at, I'm like, they weren't perfectly clear, and it's going to be an object, and that's not how X-rays work. So I feel like I was lied to about that one. Now I have questions. But I remember
mouth guard. That would require some chewing first. I mean, you've got to get it in bite-sized chunks first, right?
Well, so a lot of people, that's the thing. A lot of people hate mouthpieces. They're in the way, they're annoying. So you put them in warm water, and that's how you form them to your mouth. When you're not doing the really expensive, nice ones that you get from dentists for sports, they'll cut them down to teeny bits. So it just shows right here. So the referees see you, and it looks like you got a full mouthpiece, but it's only like this big. The other thing is
grill.
Yeah, 100%. That's it. The other guy, a lot of other guys have a really bad habit of during the game, they stick halfway out their mouth and they're nonstop chewing
You
on
see
it.
it on
Is the
American
thing.
football all the time. Somebody
Yes.
between plays. It's easier to breathe without the mouthpiece in place.
Right.
And you can get air better. But
So yeah, it's happened. But the other thing that it brings to mind is not this pen, but like a standard BIC pen that has a cap on it. And I've always seen it's got the hole in the cap. And it had been years. I've never thought about that hole and why is that hole there? But then I learned it's in case someone swallows that cap, it can still pass air through so you don't suffocate, which I thought that's pretty ingenious.
and it whistles. Don't ask me how
Experience?
I know.
Coins and caps for the RA kids.
I was a pen chewer. I would so
no.
aggressively chew on my pens that
Poop
it would. I said poo, but I did not mean to. That was full on slip.
Poo chew.
I would chew on my pen so aggressively that many a time, I would have ink all over my face before I knew that I had like, chewed into the inner layers.
That's terrible.
Sorry, I'm sorry you have to hear this. There's one more funny story about this that is unfortunately very gross. So I'll warn you now. If you guys need to just sign out now, you can do that. But I have a picture of me as a child that my parents took, and it's the cutest little picture. I'm wearing like it looks like like Ernie from Sesame Street with the orange and black and red stripes. I was wearing that shirt, like long sleeve. I might have even been a turtleneck, middle of the summer, I'm pretty sure. But I'm wearing that and like some button-up corduroy overalls, and I'm like crouched down as only kids can do when they like sit on their heels and don't fall over. But I'm crouched down on the sidewalk and I'm looking, I'm smiling. Okay, and I've got like my finger, like my finger in my mouth or something, and my parents took a picture of me. And we're talking film back in the day. I took a picture, developed it. I think my dad actually developed it in the darkroom, his own darkroom, because he did his own photography stuff.
Okay.
Beautiful little picture. I'm like cute as a button. I remember exactly what I was doing at that moment.
Poop chewing?
No, it's worse. It's worse. I was picking up those little pill bugs, those ones that you pick up, they roll up into a ball. I was picking them up and I just put them in my mouth and I just bite them until they crunch a little bit, and then I'd spit them out and then find another bug and put it in and just bite it. I was eating bugs. My parents like, oh, how cute. Roly-polies. Yes. I don't know what they're actually called. I call them a pill bug.
They're called roly-polies. And you were eating roly-polies?
It wasn't like eating. I was mostly just chewing and then spitting them out, then chewing more. I stopped doing that. I promise. I stopped doing that within a couple of years of that moment.
It's been a couple of years.
It was a texture thing. It wasn't taste. I have no recollection of taste, but it was clearly a texture thing.
I really thoroughly enjoyed the texture of biting into a roly-poly and spitting it out and biting.
It sounds bad the way you say it, but I can tell you as a kid, it was really cool.
Oh my.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Protein's protein. Hey, but he wasn't swallowing. He was just biting them for texture and spitting them out. Yeah. Right. I mean, I know kids, they eat some weird things, and this is how the podcast ends. Yeah. It's
the final episode right here.
Roly-poly. Man, I know kids like eat mud and dirt, and I know they've eaten bugs, and they're like, oh, I ate a bug. Why'd you put that? But I didn't know anyone that sat there with a bag of roly-polies like it's jerky and just hanging out for a
you have to pull up dandelions and stuff to find them and turn over rocks. It takes work.
Yeah, real hunter and gatherer.
Any calories I was like, consuming, I was definitely expending on the hunt as well. So,
do you have said picture, by the way, that you mentioned?
I think my mom has it.
We've got to show it. We've got to get it. It's got to round out the story. And then we could do a candle link and take said picture and put roly-polies and dandelions and a little shovel and a little bucket.
I already see the memes. They're gonna be rolling in on burner phone already.
I'm gonna check the Recovery Addict Facebook page in about an hour.
Gonna be like, hey, I got you a treat.
Yes.
Oh no, I share this. Yes, I grew up poor. What can you say? I did grow up poor, but I don't know. My parents might have had money. I had none. It was not an allowance family. It was not one of those you deserve money because you exist families. It was one of
Right.
those, well, if you want some, you're going to earn it upbringings, which I don't think did me any harm.
You
Honestly.
should have done a eating roly-poly contest and see if you won any prize money.
I would win hands down. I've never entered an actual. I don't think I've ever entered an actual eating contest. But if there was a roly-poly one, I don't think I could do it now. I mean, I'm pretty sure I couldn't. I'm like 99% sure that there's just no way I could even. No.
I'm gonna on eating. I'm gonna quick flip here before we round out the show. This is just an experience I had last night. It was a late night and we were starving, so we went ahead and ordered DoorDash, and we ordered it from. It's called McAllister's. It's a sandwich shop, deli, and whatnot. If they're not local to you, y'all in chat, so we get the order, and
You're telling us about something really good that we can't have.
Well, it's better than roly polies, and it's
got me there.
So one is like no tomato, and the other's no bacon. There's some specialty things of these sandwiches, right? So when the order's wrong, I'd like to call in and ask for a manager to let them know. I don't ask for a refund. I don't want send me a new sandwich. I'll pick it off. We'll eat it. It's fine. I just like to let them know, hey, just for the feedback, this came in and it was incorrect, just so they can help manage their store better or whatever. Maybe they got a real problem employee that they've been
constructive
watching.
feedback. Constructive feedback helps.
Yes, it's what we try to do. So I call last night.
Chat's full of it right now.
Oh,
constructive feedback.
Yeah. So I phone in, manager answers. I'm letting them know the story. Hey, this happened. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Can I get you a refund? Can I get you some coupon free sandwiches? I'm like, no. I'm not calling for that. I'm not trying to get something free out of this. I'm just giving you some feedback to let you know, in hopes that it helps. And he's like, no, please. And so we go back and forth with the no, please, no, please. And then he goes, no, okay, sir, please. Can I have your address so I can mail you some free sandwich coupons? Because the order that you told me about, and I just pulled it up, I made one of those sandwiches. I remember the no bacon and I put on the bacon. So can I please, because now this is personal. I died laughing when he finally said, I made one. It was hysterical.
That was me.
Yes. So
he won't be able to sleep tonight unless you at least sends you. You don't have to use the coupons. I mean, you just let him send you the coupons and throw them away or whatever. But
I'll give them to the neighbor's kids or whatever. Or shoot, we might use one. It's no big deal. But I started laughing hysterically on the phone when he finally came out. It was me. I made it, and you're killing me by not accepting this gift. So
and you're like, look, it's probably you probably got a new guy. He's first day on the job.
100%.
He might not even care. This might not be the job for him. And the guy's he's getting smaller and smaller as you talk. He's like, it's that order. It's the bacon order, right? I know. It's the bacon. I knew it. That was me.
It was so funny. He was so awesome. He was so friendly, so nice. There's no question why he's the manager. Sure, you messed up on a sandwich, one ingredient, big deal. It's going to happen in food all the time. But the way he handled the call and his customer service, it was so. He's definitely not watching because not very many people watch this, especially local. But except for Roy, who I think already left. But if you ever come across it, shout out to you, manager at McAllister's. A+ customer service, and you're funny. You have a great sense of humor.
There we go. Hope to get a little more business, and I bet he's never going to make that mistake again. At least on your order. No bacon. No bacon.
Someone else make this sandwich. But yeah, so that'll clean up and wash down roly-polies much easier.
Yes. Let's because the roly-poly is still fresh on our palate mentally. Let's do one more story. Don't do the cricket sound. You can't do the cricket sound now either because that doesn't work. It's a bug. Yeah. No, let's have a segue. No, not even a segue. Let's just full on do the last story and save some what the few members and the few people who are still here get to hear the true story to end on. Have you ever? We talked today about LARPing a little bit. We talked about because the trial that at the end of the trial in Arizona, they're literally having to have somebody act like the person in the murder scene, standing where they are, have the jury stand out, see if they can see him. We sort of had a little bit of fun with that, as they're like adults or like role playing. Well, I want a taller person, shorter person, fatter, skinnier. What are they going to wear? And so we're joking about LARPing. But some people do this to a great extent, and I'm not saying it's weird. I've got family members that are big into this, and costumes, weaponry, you name it. There's like a society of professional. I don't know what. I don't know what the thing is, but they meet up with other people and pretend to do things. There's a story out of China where a group of people do this, but it's different. It's with a twist. This airport allows people to show up, check their bags, go through security, wait in the terminal, board the plane, strap in, get the you have exits here, and here. Here's your seatbelts and everything.
Yeah.
And then get off the plane. It was just a pretend experience for those that just enjoy waiting in the airport for your plane to be ready, fighting for a seat, looking for a place to stuff your carry-on, and just can't get enough of that on their daily travels. And they just need to, if I could just run down to the airport real quick and just have one more boarding and deboarding, plane and deplane really quick, that would just make my week. And this company's like, gotcha.
The flight of your dreams.
Yes. Where do I sign up?
And it's a real thing.
It's the worst. It's the worst part of all air travel, unless you have like just a horrendous storm in the air. It's literally it's the worst part of air travel, that they're packaging as this deal, and people are doing it. They're signing up and saying, yeah, that's me. I just like to pretend, just get comfy, with somebody who's, stealing my seatbelt and kicking me in the back of the chair. And then we get off the plane and we all go home. The plane never moves. It's just on the tarmac. It doesn't even taxi around you don't even get the free trip around the airport.
I wonder, what do they pay for this? And if they do, what's the cost? I mean, they have to, right? Because it's staffed by,
There's got to be a cost. All-inclusive root canals. Dentists, they need to jump on board. I mean, there's opportunity here. There's some people actually like the sound of the drill. So,
I can't.
This is a great question, Thomas.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't open the show with my feedback. So this week's Police Academy was the gang task force unit and negotiations. The gang thing was pretty neat. They showed a lot of pictures. They blurred out faces, and it was actually funny. They're like, I have to, because I don't know all of you here and who might be family related, boyfriends, girlfriends,
you might
sisters.
recognize people.
So I'm blurring these out. So it's hilarious. And if you saw the class, the students I'm with, it's even more funny because there's no chance. But it was pretty good. So it was cool, the knowledge they have, the stuff they track, watching how they write and communicate and code and what they do. Negotiations was neat as well. They discussed the different throw phones they have. One's like an iPhone and like an OtterBox case that they throw through. It just has a big red button on the screen, and it's to hit answer or to call out. But it has a teeny little hidden camera. So if they do pick it up, the camera's on the whole time, whether they answer or not. And it's cool. And it feeds right back to their big box laptop they got. So looking at stuff like that was really, really cool. But I've heard conflicting things. One, they're not allowed to tase anyone anymore. And two, another officer in the class said, we've already pre-picked who we're tasing. So we don't know what's going to happen or not. I will say, if it's allowed, I will do it 100%. I've been tased before, not with the prongs that actually stick in with barbs, but I've been dry stunned.
You need medics to take those out properly.
Yes. So
they just pull them out, but you need medics to do it. There's no like special button that takes it out painlessly. No. They just
barbs. So
at least I will put the Band-Aid on.
So if they allow it, I will definitely volunteer. What's super cool about this is that the police officer who's in charge of putting this whole academy together is more excited than ever to be on the podcast with us next week.
Awesome.
So when I talked about it
this week,
a little bit,
not this week, but I've announced this like for 3 weeks in a row. You just can't tell me when there's a guest until the day of.
and it's on the thing. But
It's huge.
so when I talked to him about it a little bit, he was so excited. I've always wanted to do a podcast. He came close to doing one that was actually for their PD, but his boss kicked him out and took over. So he was really pumped. And then I said, well, I need you to slow down. And I said, here's the channel. Here's the videos. Pick one to watch so you can see what it's about. It's
Hopefully
not
not a podcast, not like tonight, right? You didn't tell him to run tonight.
he could be watching. I don't know.
I'm in trouble.
So he picked one. And it's the funniest thing. I walked into class Monday night and I said, hey, Brian, how are you doing? Shook his hand. He goes, man, I'm so excited for next Thursday. I can't wait. Well, his dad is taking the Citizens Police Academy also. So he looks over, he goes, oh, he invited me to his podcast and I'm going to be on it. And it's hilarious. They talk about a whole bunch of nothing. And the one I watched, they went on a tangent about Q-tips, and the other host, he was yelling to his family to get the box, and he got it, and he's reading the box of Q-tips and what they're designing. He goes, oh, I can't. He was over the moon excited about this.
I'm glad he has a very low bar. So we might be able to fulfill these expectations.
And there was other people in the class that could hear him because he was so animated and excited. And I was like, oh no, they're going to ask like, what's the podcast? And someone might watch it. And I don't, no, like, can you quiet? I mean, he was
I'm going to take out an ad in the Wichita Falls newspaper. Just like new podcast. Local man makes it big on YouTube is what the full page ad is going to say.
But I'm so excited because there's definitely no question why he's head of the community outreach program and division that he is, on top of being an officer and what he does. So he loves to talk way more than I like to talk, but he's got positive energy. He's just a great guy. So he's going to be a tremendous guest. We'll do like we've done in the past with other guests. We'll get to know them a little bit of an interview twist at times with them. But it'll be free range where he can talk about stuff that doesn't have to be full on law enforcement experience or opinion and take on things. He will avoid talking about department specific things, obviously, for certain reasons, but he's excited. So we're excited. And next week should be a lot of fun with him because Brian he's animated, full of energy, and he's just really, really cool. So
that's awesome. I'm excited because I've been announcing this for weeks. Next week is going to be the night. That's the one we're waiting for.
That's it.
You have to see, like, if you look over my shoulder, I'm not sure if you can see this very well, but it's huge font on this. It says special guest confirmed for 4/18 across here. It's the bold font. But I've been so excited. I can't wait. You've brought some great people. Roy, who's in chat as well, is just amazing. So
Roy's fantastic. He's a lot of fun. I need to check and see if he's got a new video out because my notifications haven't worked. But yeah, let's we'll get Brian next week and then we'll go from there. But I'm excited. What do you got going tomorrow?
Tomorrow, little teaser. Apparently, it was a crazy day in court. And
for which?
For the Arizona, for the Kelly trial.
Okay.
The Kelly trial. Crazy day in court. And it's only a half day. It's Friday, so we're probably going to get out early. But I can't wait. I have not pre-watched this. We're going to watch this all together. It's going to be nuts. But people are like, hey, it's somebody who didn't know I was following the trial sent this and said, you've got to follow this trial. What happened today was nuts. I'm like, we're just a day behind.
Okay.
So they just barely saw it tonight because they're post late. So I'm stoked. It's going to be a lot of fun following that trial tomorrow. So
awesome. Cool.
And then we've got a fun thing from I think Judge Cedric had a pro se or something defendant. I haven't even watched that yet. Mods were talking about that. If I can get that video, we're going to try to watch that tomorrow as well. So it'll be fun. It'll be a fun Friday. No Pants Friday as well.
No Pants Friday. So 8:45 ish.
No. I think we could start about 8:30. 8:30. I've been doing 8 o'clock. So 8:30 on a Friday, that should be fine for those poor people on the West Coast who have been getting up super early all week long. You got to throw them a bone on a weekend. There is a Sarah Boone hearing. It's probably going to be really quick, but we're going to watch for it. If that's there, we'll try to take it. Nothing from Chad Daybell tomorrow. I know we're not following on the main channel, but they take Fridays off.
Okay. Sounds like we're just going to be kick back, taking it easy on a Friday.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great.
Sounds good.
Long time coming this week. We've had like 3 Mondays in a row and then like 2 Wednesdays. Finally, we get to Friday.
It felt like it. Absolutely. Awesome. Well, Scott, thank you so much. enjoyed hanging out, chit-chatting, sharing stories and conversations, even if you eat roly-polies. And for those of you in chat,
Don't try it till you knock it. Don't knock it till you try it. No, don't try it. It's probably the right words. Don't eat roly-polies. They're not for human consumption. Let me just say I was very little, very, very little. Like there's a good chance I was probably wearing a diaper under those corduroys. Okay? This is not like
fair. Okay.
I'm not even sure I could really formulate sentences at that time. I was young. You guys need to cut me just a little bit of slack on this one.
Fair enough. Everyone in chat, those of you that decided to hang out with us tonight, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for all your input and your feedback and your just friendly banter and back and forth in chat. It's so fun. There's so much laughter. Scott and I truly look forward to Thursday evenings because it's just the stress level just goes way down. We just get to hang out and have a good time. So thank you so much for being here.
No, we ran out of this song. You know what's called when they hit the post? Like when you match, that's what actually the term in radio, when your little dialogue, your sort of like free flow dialogue meets perfectly with the end of the music. That's called hitting the post. We missed the post. I started the music too early. We talked too long. I'm not sure, but here I am talking. We should have ended. You've already done your outro, so I'll do it. You guys, you're amazing. Thanks all, Thomas. As always, true friend. I appreciate you more than I can say. Amazing. I love this. This is the highlight of my week. So I get to hang out with you and amazing people in chat. So thank you very much, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Good to everybody. We'll see you. Bye.